Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Spellbinder doing a report again on Al Gore. This is the last about 11 minutes of his scam to get you to give him money to make him a millionaire. Maybe he's taking the money and going to build himself an underground shelter to save himself, and you're going to pay for it. I think it's just great that he's on here doing this. It just proves his ignorance. You know, he was a D student in science, and he's sitting here and playing this out, and he's got all these people he paid off, scientists, a dozen of them or so, in the ICPP to come out and talk about this. It's complete madness. I mean, this guy is a scam artist. You can just see him, look at him. He's sitting there just like in inconvenient truth, which is the convenient lie to make him money. He started his carbon tax scandal several years ago as a way of making money off of all the corporations and stuff around the country, the small corporations and coal burners, yet he is an oil baron himself, and he owns into the Occidental Oil, which is a West Coast South American oil company that he's into. Him with the New World Order and Maurice Strong, who's a billionaire living in China, guarded by Chinese soldiers to keep him from being attacked. You know, he's not there as a prisoner or anything. He's there living in China with the Chinese army guarding him. I mean, this guy is in there, and he was in the UN. Just look up Maurice Strong, and you'll find that he's the one that started this green thing to make billions of dollars from everyone on the planet. And it's, you know, this carbon cutting thing is actually going to kill millions, if not a billion people in the third world countries. They only make like $2 a day, and they have this tax put onto them. They're going to die because they're not going to be able to pay the tax, and they have a hard enough time getting food and everything. My big thing is just wait until this solar scam, the solar cycle is over, so we can see if this scam is real or not. I'm still calling it a scam because every time they start talking, the solar activity is up. It causes droughts. It causes extra moisture in certain parts of the world. It does all this. It's the sun in the sky. Well, you think the ancients worshipped the sun because it drove the climate. It drove everything that they planted and everything. They went by the seasons and by what the sun was doing. I am just amazed to see him come out here and continue his carbon credit scam. This is a Chicago scam made together with several people involved. I'll name names. Obama's involved in this. He has investments in this scam. There's Hillary, I believe, has investments in this scam as well. I know Maurice Strong, him and Al Gore started this scam. And they're out there trying to convince you that you got to give them money and they'll fix this problem of CO2 when they have corporations, crony corporations, out there doing all this. They're the ones creating this scam. And they're creating the problem. The reaction is your fear, and their solution is what they give you. Give us money and we'll fix this problem. Yeah, right. And I can sell you the Brooklyn Bridge and you'll gladly buy it from me for whatever I ask for, though I have no ownership to it, just like they have no ownership to this planet. But yet they'll tell you that if you give them money, they'll fix the problem. They're not fixing anything. The true problem is them and their corporations, crony corporations, polluting the planet, dumping chemical all over the place. Has nothing to do with CO2. It's actually the pollution they're creating to make a profit for everyone, and they made us all into consumers. That's another thing. We have all been taught to be consumers from the time we're in preschool until the time we graduate from college. We're taught to be consumers, to consume, and that's what they're using. They're making profits both ways. They're using both sides of the coin. Them creating the problem and them selling the products. We don't need all the products we had. We never had to have them before. They're bringing up all these toys for you, mental toys, taking you from your real self, your real person, as a human being and a spiritual being, and they're convincing you to consume, and it's just amazing. It really amazes me to see this scam going on. Let's listen to a little more of what Al Gore, the carbon tax scammer, is up to.
Reason is in part because even though there may be an Earth somewhere out there where reality doesn't matter at all.
Unreality,
really
Al Gore?
Is not
your unreality?
This Earth. This Earth is the one we have to care about.
That's right. We got to stop you cronies from polluting it, and also stop you from making a profit from your pollution. They want us to pay for the cleanup of their mess, is what it comes down to, if you really want to know the truth. And it has nothing to do with CO2. It has everything to do with them making money on both sides of the sword. They have a two-edged sword, and they're using both sides of it. They're trying to convince you to be green, you to give up everything, you to have nothing. But yet, look at this man who has these 3 mansions that use more energy in 3 months than 3 families do in a year. And he's got a private jet, flies and boogies around. Do you and I have any of this? Hell no. We don't have nothing like this. This has been the biggest scam I think I've ever seen on the entire planet. I think this is one of the bigger scams. They're going to go through and saw this. What they did is they showed basically the same thing for 24 hours of what he showed on here of climate. Oh, here we go. One more word.
I'd like to express my deep thanks to this amazing team that made all of this possible.
He's going to name names of people who have paid off and involved in this. Oh, they cut him off. Ha ha. Oh, see what I'm talking about. This is just unfrickin' real. This is nothing but a salesman pitch, a snake oil salesman trying to sell you something. And that's exactly what he is. His family goes back in the snake oil salesman back in their early family life. They used to sell snake oil and say, this will cure your ills. Take this and you'll be cured. And here you go. And basically it was alcohol, maybe some cocaine, some heroin in there. Loved them, and they gave it to you. I'm just amazed of how they're doing this.
The world is joining hands.
Well, what is he going to do? Rebroadcast this again? This is the ad.
On the full truth, scope, scale, and
I'm telling you, you have been lied to. It's solar. It's cosmic rays. We go through these cycles constantly, over and over again. They're just taking advantage of these cycles to make a buck. 24 hours of unreality. I am telling you right now, you have been hoodwinked by this guy.
And we invite you to go along either online or some of you in person. So in closing, thank you for all the wisdom and passion and energy that so many of you
for the
put
money.
into this challenge of solving the climate crisis. So to all of those who are watching around the world, I started to say good evening, but
I have brainwashed you and made my buck.
Whatever time it is, thank you so much for joining us Let's solve the climate crisis together.
That's right.
and
Which
face
shut these
reality.
people
Thank you
down.
very much for
Which
coming.
shut him down. Which shut the corporation he backs up and says they were the cause of it. You know what this is really about? He's in the oil and he's against the coal. You know the coals have scrubbers, the newer plants that actually only put out water vapor and maybe a little CO2. CO2 is a plant food. If you put a plant in a container and pump CO2 in there, the plant will get big and green and grow. You should pump oxygen into that very container instead of CO2. The plant will turn brown, wither, and die. This is the truth about the matter. What they're not telling you is that the climate change is solar and cosmic, and it's nothing that us little puny humans on this planet, specks of grains of sand, are doing. It's these people who own these corporations that are putting this all out. The oil companies are the worst polluters on the planet. You should see the pictures in South America and in California where they have, well, California, the EPA is keeping them under bay, but you go down to South America where there is no EPA, though EPA is evil in itself because it's cutting us off from doing this, but yet China is able to do whatever the hell they want. They can build all these coal power plants and everything that put out 10 times the amount that ours put out per plant, and we are punished, but China is okay because it's over there, but yet they're putting out more than the whole planet. And you're going to sit there and believe this con artist. He's a con man, and he's just there to con you. I hope you all wake up to what I'm saying. Do your research. Google oil refineries of South America, and you'll see lakes of oil that just sits there, and they don't clean it up or anything. The natives down there are dying from drinking the water because it's all polluted with their oil, and it's part of his corporations and stuff, and he's invested into his carbon footprint nonsense too, to make it like it's carbon dioxide that's doing it all. Give me money. And then that's what it's all about. I just don't understand. I mean, you have been lied to, and you're continually being lied to. I don't know how else to tell you that this has all been a scam and a lie. And I don't know. I mean, here, let's go to the inconvenient. These are all people on this particular article talking about his beginning of this 24-hour, it's called the Inconvenient Day. Al Gore preps 24-hour global warming. Yes, he does. And it says green guru Al Gore is seeing red and might just take himself blue. The former vice president and outspoken climate change defender plans a 24-hour worldwide presentation, which has just ended, called 24 Hours of Reality, which I call Unreality, to combat the country's growing disbelief in this contention that man's actions have drastically shaped the planet's climate. No, it's the control freaks, corporations that have done this. Has nothing to do with any of that. This man is a con artist. He tells you one thing and does another. This is all part of what Ike came up with. It's the Machiavellian ideology they're using, among with other ideologies. It's problem, reaction, solution. They've created the problem of all this pollution, that's chemicals and other things, not air pollution in general, but ground pollution. And they're going to convince you that it's CO2, that's the problem, and you should fear it and be afraid, but yet their solution is the very thing that they've come up with to make a profit from such a solution. The carbon tax, the carbon footprint, the carbon credit. That's all the time I have to tell you about this for this video. I hope you do your research and understand that you have been hoodwinked by a con artist, a snake oil salesman who owns oil companies himself, or at least is heavily invested in such. And you do your own research. Until next time, this is Spellbinder saying, be good at it, and good day.